What's cooking, Gumbo Nation? You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. And I'm your host, Dwayne Stein, the Gulf South Mortgage Authority. And if you want to join the show, give us a call, 504-260-0995, or you can shoot an email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. This is your home show where for 7+ years, providing education and options on your most valuable asset, your home, your largest investment, your home. And years ago, we created the Total Home Authority, and I'm super excited because she has been one busy bee. She'll be joining us shortly, is the Queen of Insurance, affectionately known as the Queen of Insurance, dubbed that title years ago. Listen to that. She's even got her own music. I mean, it's absolutely, we give her everything. And because she's the queen. So she's joining us today. There's a lot that's been going on with insurance. And I think it's important for those who are not involved in this industry every day, who's just the normal homeowner, who's doing life. Heck, realtors, lenders, possibly selling your home. You know, we've got questions, and she's got answers, that's for sure, that we're going to get brought to her today that I've gotten from people, just my clients, and just all the changes that really started taking place last year. So we've got some questions for her, and what the federal government kind of deemed FEMA 2.0. So we're going to talk about not necessarily where we were, but where we are now, and even more importantly, because she's in the know, is where are we going with insurance? What are the expectations going forward? So she's going to join us in a second. Want to make sure, let you know, had a great turnout. Over 50 people hung out on Tuesday for the home buying webinar. Just a reminder, this Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m., comfort of your own home. You can hang out with us, crack open a brew, nice glass of vino, whatever you want to do, and learn about credit. Our All About Credit webinar is this Tuesday, 6 to 7 p.m. All you got to do is be a member of the Gumbo Nation Facebook group page. That's it. Go there. It'll stream live there, and you will learn everything you want to know about credit. How is credit scored? How do we kind of adjust credit? At Mortgage Gumbo, we don't just take the score and go, you either qualify or you don't. We're constantly looking at ways to maybe enhance your score. So we'll tell you some tips and tricks that we do and that you can do when you walk out of that webinar. Not walk out, but get up from your sofa from our webinar. You're going to learn, you're going to have some free tips and tricks that you can do right away that'll improve your score immediately. So it's a great webinar. It's very popular. Glad to be having these events again. And then, of course, you've got till Monday, the 22nd, the Luke Bryan contest that is going on that I am so excited to be part of. It's been like paparazzi over here at Mortgage Gumbo at 801 Girard. Luke Bryan's been hanging out here. People been coming by, taking a picture with Luke. You take a selfie. You hashtag looking for Luke. You go to the WNOE's Instagram page at 1011 WNOE, and you get the opportunity. That's how you enter the contest. That's it. Win seats. He's got a catalog on CD, autographed guitar, T-shirts, all kinds of great stuff for his concert next Saturday. So take advantage of that. Come on by. If it's over the weekend like this weekend, no excuse. He's hanging out in the window waiting for you. He's keeping check, right, Collette? You've even been seeing people come by, right? It's crazy, right?
Well, random people are coming up to your front of your building to take pictures with Luke.
Yeah. I mean, at first I was excited because I'm like, maybe they're here to see me. Then I remembered Luke Bryan's.
Luke is in the window.
Yeah, Luke's in the building. Mm-hmm. So we got that going on. So a lot of information right now is some Unique times. I mean, it's different, right? These are things that we've been telling you and why for 7+ years. Hey, next month, 3 weeks from now, it'll be 8 years we've been having the show, and it continues to grow every year, almost every month, and that's because of you, the Gumbo Nation, and sharing knowledge weekly. People are like, hey, my coworker told me to give you a call or this or that. Had someone last night, again, getting pretty cool, bought me a drink because they're a listener.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's pretty neat. I mean,
Well,
of
that was
course,
nice.
yeah, of course, I had to make sure that she wasn't trying to roofie
It
me.
was a she.
Yeah,
Oh,
so it had
even
to make
better.
sure, yes, my listening audience on the female side has grown quite a bit.
Oh, really?
Yes, it has. So,
okay.
yep, so I think that Chalmette twang, eventually, it will wear on you.
Is it a twang?
Well, I just tell them I'm from Boston,
I
you know,
gotcha.
so that's what I
Okay.
go with. But
Maybe Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yeah. But I just made sure. I said, listen, I appreciate it. Thanks for being a listener. She was with her husband, so I'm trying to make it sound cool.
Oh, that's
Right.
it.
See, I'm trying to make it
There's-
sound cool.
there's
See,
the-
but I got
there it is.
I only speak the truth. I'm like, but he did get up and go to the bathroom, and I was like, you didn't roofie this, did
So
you?
she bought you a drink because she's a listener.
Yeah, I think I saw a husband saying, hey, I think that's the radio dude.
Yeah.
She goes, are you the radio guy? I'm like, yes. Which prompted me to wear a Face for Radio shirt today.
Uh-huh.
So we had that. So that was good. So good stuff there. Listen, there's a lot going on. This week, straight up, just going to come right out with it when it comes to interest rates. They absolutely crapped the bed. I mean, it was bad. And why? You cannot figure these things out right now because it's just baffling, right? Because ironically, America, USA, was the only country in the entire world whose inflation didn't rise in July. So what's happened is the rates didn't react because inflation, right? So what we're wanting right now, just for you to understand what we need, we want inflation to slow down. So that's what they're trying to do. That's why they're raising interest rates. So they want inflation to slow down so then rates will recede. After a recession, which regardless if they're not wanting to say it's a recession or not, we are in a recession.
I believe that.
Right? And I've been discussing inflation has not peaked yet. So last month when they came out and said, oh, it's at zero, all that meant is it didn't go up from the month before. It stayed the same. Well, rates didn't react. You would think that rates would be happy about that. And they'd go, all right, good, we're there. Now we could start lowering the temperature a little bit with, different things. No, that's not happening. So now what happens is this week, the UK, all the European nations, all this came out with their inflation numbers, and they're through the roof. Well, you go, well, why do we care about what goes over there? Well, the central banks care, right? Because all that money behind the scenes is being transferred into a dollar, being moved and shaked and all this. And, here the U.S. had zero inflation, yet everybody else is
bonkers.
So the market's like, yep, we knew it. Okay, there was a little fudgery here. So that's why we saw interest rates go up this week. So, and we'll get to that. We'll do a little bit of a interest rate segment later on. But also, our boy Brad Pitt. You familiar with Brad Pitt?
I never heard of him.
Never heard. I know. I've never been confused for Brad Pitt. I can honestly say, I do get Dana White and
who?
Dana White, the UFC dude,
Yeah.
the guy that runs UFC.
Never heard of
I've
him.
gotten that, and I like to believe maybe The Rock.
Please.
But anyway, so Brad Pitt came in after Katrina, built all those homes in the Ninth Ward.
Yeah.
Well,
using materials that don't withstand the swamp.
Congratulations, Brad. His foundation, and this is what I try to explain to everybody because I do a ton of reverse mortgages. But who do you see on TV? Magnum PI, the Fonz, doing these reverse mortgage commercials for these other companies.
Gotcha.
So Brad Pitt wasn't sitting there picking out, all right, I want those 2x4s, I want that sheetrock,
I don't think he was involved in the material selection.
which stinks because this doesn't say, whatever company. It's the Brad Pitt Foundation. So you feel bad because here's a guy that was trying to do good, but this week, guess what?
He stepped up.
$20.5 million lawsuit was so every homeowner, 107 homeowners, are eligible to receive $25,000. These houses were built with, like you said, inadequate materials. According to the suit, homes suffered from rain leakage, structural damage, and mold. The suit also faulty heating, problems with cooling and ventilation systems, and electrical malfunctions, and probably the worst out of all of those, plumbing mishaps.
Ooh.
Nobody likes a plumb. I'll take it hot.
Yeah.
But I need the toilet to flush.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'll sweat a little bit. Got to have things go down when they're supposed to go down.
I don't think 25,000 is going to help that problem.
No, it's not. But I think that's to give 107 homeowners will be eligible to receive as a reimbursement for previous repairs.
Not adding up to the.
No.
So the attorney's got it all.
Exactly. Right.
I'm like,
yeah.
Okay. So 20 million.
Yeah. I mean,
but
what is that?
everybody, 100
right?
people
no, that's
get
a great
25,000. I mean, that's what the numbers don't add up.
25,000. Yeah, it equals 2.6 million.
Where's the rest of the money?
Right. Gee whiz.
Uh-huh.
Good point. Wow. All right.
Okay.
So, Brad, thank you for
the 20 million that's not going back to the people that need it.
Hey, I guess thank you for the thought. Remember, they were all those. Well, not they were, but those crazy-looking homes supposed to be all modern and.
That's what I'm saying. He contracted with a company that specialized in these homes that were green and using materials that
global green.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they don't hold up in the swamp. Is the problem?
Yeah. Humidity's a real thing, folks.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You can't bring that California poop over here. So,
so true.
It's so true, right? It's so true. So, all right. On the other side of the break, let's catch a break here. I'm going to get me a little go-go juice. I'm excited. You should be, too. If you've got questions, send them in to info@mortgagegumbo.com. Shoot them over to Facebook. Good morning to you as well. Got tons of folks hanging out on Facebook. And also LinkedIn hanging out. Nice. Good deal there. So look at you all professionals hanging out watching the show. All right. Anyway, on the other side of the break, the queen of insurance, Collette Biedenkopf. She's in studio. We're going to find out just what the is going on with insurance. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. 504-260-0995.
Oh, there.
There you go. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio, 504-260-0995. This segment's brought to you by The Fence King. Visit fencethisyard.com/Gumbo Nation. Got a client this week getting some 6-foot posts on the side with the tropical storm so they don't fall down, 8-foot on the back, and then getting a decorative New Orleans-style aluminum fencing in the front. It looks amazing. They were so happy with the Fence King, with his pricing. Dude even offers financing. Just go visit him, fencethisyard.com/Gumbo Nation. And all his work comes with a warranty. Visit fencethisyard.com. All right, let's do, we've got, well, you know what? Let's do the proper intro. Officially joining us, the queen of insurance. We had to play the bugles.
Is it bugles?
I don't know what that is. Collette Biedenkopf, the queen of insurance, the absolute guru of insurance.
Is that all I am?
Well, I mean, this is a professional show.
Okay.
So amazing. I mean, I finally see that your folks aren't there at the crack of dawn. Because when they're beating me to the office, that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And when they're leaving after me, that's a worse thing.
Right.
And my gosh, for the last couple months, that has been exactly.
Yeah, we've been burning the midnight oil.
So let's tell everybody, for those folks who are joining and who have maybe just been doing life, let's just kind of give them, because I know we've done some podcasts and, but again, if you want to go check out everything that we do, go subscribe to Mortgage Gumbo on YouTube. Over 400 videos are there. This one will be there for you. Go to mortgagegumbo.com. Click on the Roo to get our weekly newsletter that goes out to more than 16,000 people each week. We're getting the information out there. We know these times are unique, but we're not hiding behind it, doing a bunch of shows talking about how great it was the last 2 years. We're out in front of this to make sure you're educated. So let's talk about why your folks over the last couple months were burning the midnight oil and exactly how the insurance world in a very short time got absolutely flipped on its backside.
Okay. Well, this didn't come overnight. This occurred over a period of now almost 2 years, beginning with the devastating hurricane that hit Lake Charles, which was Laura, 2 years ago. And there was consecutive significant events that happened on the backs of each significant event in the Gulf Coast region over 18 months. And so Ida was literally it just wiped it out. It wiped it out. There was not enough time between these major events for the insurance companies to recoup some of the losses that they were sustaining in multiple events. So what we are sitting with now is a very limited number of insurance companies competing to write business here in the Gulf Coast region. And until time heals all wounds, is all I can say.
Yeah.
We went through this after Katrina, where we saw the market shrink severely. And
did it shrink to this amount of...
It was a little different because when Katrina hit, there were more national companies involved.
Okay.
After Katrina hit, we saw a lot of the national companies pull out.
Sure.
So we we attracted more smaller regional companies to write business here. And we benefited from that for a long time, and our rates were really, really good. Very, very low premiums. And what happened now is the regional companies are the ones that got hit with these consecutive major losses in a short period of time. So you have those folks that are getting out of here. You have some of them absolutely catastrophically
done.
And
when you say done, out of business.
Done. Like they have every piece of dollar they had has been allocated to claims. They have maxed out their own insurance policies they have on top of theirs.
And they just can't keep the lights on anymore.
They can't. They have put it all in. All chips are in, and they're done.
Now, is that just? Let me ask you this, because you're bringing up something. So, does that just they're done nationally or regionally, or just in Louisiana?
If they wrote in other states, they're done. Like
okay.
Completely.
Okay. So when you say done.
When I mean done,
not just hey, we out of here, screw Louisiana.
No, they have
the ones
that
the
we
storms
saw,
wiped them out.
Wiped out their own insurance policies that they purchased for catastrophic events. So one of the things that's being, I guess, the eye opener right now is that the amount of coverage you had on your home. Some companies kept you with the same coverage for 10 years and didn't adjust to the costs of construction. So when you have catastrophes, you basically get a complete analysis of your entire business when something like this happens. It happened to me in my agency.
Mm-hmm.
And so the properties were underinsured. So on top of having a low rate, right, you had low coverage on the house. And so with the extreme increases in construction costs that were attributed to COVID, okay,
right.
and all of the inflationary issues that are going on right now, what's happening to homeowners that are getting these renewals is that your coverage on your home is skyrocketing from where it was. So that is going to increase your premium. Then you have higher rates applied to those coverages. So that makes the premium go up even more. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll give you a specific example. A home in Metairie that was originally written with a company, say, in 19. Okay, before all hell broke loose.
Right.
Say it was a 2,800 square foot home, and we probably insured it for about $350,000. All of that is reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They enjoyed a premium right below $3,000 annually, so everything's great, good deductible, blah blah blah. That house today is now being insured for $480,000. Okay, so that is $130,000 more.
Right.
Well, you have a higher premium. I mean, there's a rate that's applied to a higher number.
Right.
So last year, let's say their premium was $4,700 because over time those rates have been going up since we hit COVID, Laura, Delta, Zeta, blah blah blah. Their renewal, okay, for a $480,000 coverage amount on the house is $9,700.
That's amazing.
How does this happen? But it's happening. That's what I'm seeing. So when you're talking about us burning the midnight oil, when we see a client that gets a double,
triple,
yeah, I mean from where it began, it's off the chain. So what we're trying to do is, hey, did you get a new roof? In one of these storms, because just because your insurance company claims department paid you to replace the roof of the house doesn't mean the underwriting department of that company knows you replaced the roof.
So there's a lot of moving parts.
So we collect the information from the client. We send it to underwriting and ask them to revise it with a new roof credit. A new roof credit on a policy will give you the deepest discount on premium. Okay, so it is so important to let your agent know that you replaced the roof. Here's the pictures of the new roof. Here's the invoice from the roofing company showing we replaced it. Please apply that to my premium, and it does help.
Sure.
I mean, you're not going to see numbers we saw last year, but we're trying to lessen the blow. That's what we're doing.
So is insurance almost like, and we'll go to break after you answer this, is insurance almost like right now, mortgage rates, people have to understand we're never going to see what we had, or it's going to be a while? I mean, who knows, right, from a premium standpoint? Because there's no competition right now.
There is no competition. So until we get more competition in the market where the companies are competing for your business, okay,
then this is what we're dealing with.
Then we're going to be dealing with this for the next 2 to 3 years. And I'll say if everything stays quiet.
The wounds get healed, right?
Time healed all.
And somebody says, we'll go
wounds.
back in there. All right.
Okay.
So, that's what I want to ask you on the other side. Who's left? What does that mean and all that? So you're listening to Mortgage Gumbo. She's the queen of insurance. She is the queen of insurance. We just got a great question over through info@mortgagegumbo.com. I'm going to ask her that on the other side. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio, 504-260-0995.
everything if you have in your house.
Oh, yeah.
You
know what I find, too? We're back a lot, by the way. Not me, at least. I took the volume. You know what I find, too, is like when I wear my Apple Watch.
Uh-huh. That's even more. It's worse.
It picks up. It's like, would
worse.
you like to send this or continue? I'm like, dude, I was just, wow.
Uh-huh.
Like, whoa.
Uh-huh.
30 seconds. All right. Somebody wanted to see. A face for radio. I embrace it. I embrace it. I'm 51 years old. This is what you get. I embrace it.
Amen to that. Right? I mean.
I'm getting that shirt. Don't poke the bear. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. 504-260-0995. The Queen of Insurance is in studio, so we're talking all about insurance, of course, her music. We're talking and discussing insurance. We're bringing you up to date on what the heck has been going on, and there's nobody better to do this. So before we get back to her, we got to pay some bills. Let's get to our weekly segment we like to call Rate Watch. Rate Watch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. It's America's first handcrafted vodka. It's absolutely delicious. I would like to thank the young lady who was with her husband last night for buying me a nice little Tito's and soda. I had quite a few last night. They were delicious. That's probably why my voice is sounding even more yaddish this morning. 30-year conventional. Last week was 533. We told you in the first segment they pooped the bed this week. But hang in there. We're still good. 533 on a 30-year conventional, 560 this week. 15 was 465, 4.90. FHA, 475 at 5. Jumbo, 4.70 up to 485. 5-1 arm. Oh, yeah. Look, there's stuff right here that I wanted to get to, but I'm not because this insurance is more important. Arms are making a run. Yeah, go get you an adjustable rate mortgage. 5.87. You're over 0.25% higher doing an adjustable rate. And then VA is right at 5%. So, again, folks, interest rate is a number on a piece of paper. We're getting people in the houses. We're using the golden ticket, the $5,000 guarantee. Won 2 offers yesterday, again, where the seller agent goes, is this for real? I said, yes, it is. They offer accepted. Both of them weren't the best offers, but they got accepted because when you get fast track approved and credit approved, you win because I believe in you. I trust you. And you can trust me because when you're credit approved with us, we put a $5,000 guarantee when you go and make your offer, and it is winning. All right. Let's get back to also go to mortgagegumbo.com, click on resources, then events. This Tuesday on the Gumbo Nation Facebook page. It's a Gumbo Nation exclusive. This is where my webinars are going down. It's a credit webinar. Do not miss it. We're going to teach you everything. Maybe you're looking at these times as they're a little bit tough and you want to take advantage of it. Do that there. And then also, hashtag looking for Luke contest. Come by 801 Girard Street in Mandeville. He's hanging out in the window. Take a selfie with the dude. Take a selfie with him. Go to Instagram, 101.1 WNOE. Upload it with hashtag looking for Luke. To enter into the contest to win 2 tickets, autographed guitar, catalog on CD, and some T-shirts for next week's concert, which I will be there, putting the boots on. Might even give me a little cowboy hat. I might have my tight Lee jeans on, too. So watch yourself. Be so sharp, might cut you. All right. So the Queen is here. We're talking about insurance, and I just got a question in. And it's a basic question that you and I understand, but so many people are not. I just received my most recent mortgage statement, and my payment went up. My insurance rose by $242
a month.
A month.
Uh-huh.
What do I do?
Well, the first thing
Is it possible that maybe somebody didn't get called? Is that well,
No.
let's answer that first.
Okay.
What do you recommend that this person whose insurance just went up? What should they do?
Okay, so first of all, you're addressing it by their first notice being their house note bill.
Right.
That's what you're telling me.
That's
exactly. That's the questions you're getting. So,
which I don't read all my stuff that comes in either. I don't answer my phone all the time.
So, yeah, what happened to this individual is that the renewal policy was issued by their current insurer, and it had an increase in premium, and it went just on automatic payment via, the lender paid it out of escrow.
Mm-hmm.
Then they did an amortization schedule of the escrow account and raised the customer's house note to compensate for the additional insurance premium that was paid out. So obviously that's a common theme going on right now. So that client should reach out to the agent and find out if there's any adjustments that could be made to their current policy to bring that premium down a little bit.
Like you discussed, new roof updates.
New roof is the biggest one.
Number one.
You can make some adjustments to your existing policy. Look and see what they put your coverage amount for on your house. Sometimes they go way too high.
Mm-hmm.
They're applying a factor. Okay, and when you factor that in, it's shooting your coverage amount on your house above the replacement cost. So that's another thing we work with the carriers to. It's too high. Like we had a customer over in a little subdivision off 59, and it's about a 3,400 square foot house. We had it insured probably in the 600s, okay, which to me was sufficient.
Sure.
And the renewal comes out at $1 million as the replacement cost. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Right.
So my office advocates. We advocate for our clients and say, hold up, this is way too high. So we do our own in-house replacement cost estimate on that property. And we submit it with some photos and ask them to adjust it. Well, that brought the premium down $1,600.
So that's the extra yard that your office
that's why when you see us working the midnight oil, we're trying to minimize the blow. Okay.
Not just going, yeah, it sucks. Sorry.
Exactly. Like, let's take a look at it. See, can we tweak? Is your contents coverage too high? Do you have that much?
Right.
Do you want to raise a deductible? There are things that can be done to help mitigate these increases. It's not a magic bullet. It is not going to happen every single time, but we try. But as far as you going, you know what? I just want to change companies because, I didn't have a good claims experience and now they're charging me all this money and I want to move somewhere else. There really isn't anywhere else to go.
So let's talk about that. Are the pullouts over? And we're talking about insurance.
Well, are you talking about that's a moving target right now? Because
are there in your world? Are you hearing of certain carriers that or under review, maybe by? I'm assuming this is the insurance commission looks at all this stuff, right, and says, I don't want these people in my state anymore.
Oh, I don't think the commissioner's looking at it that way.
Okay.
He's trying to get more carriers here.
Right, but is there anybody that's coming where? Or is the big sweep sort of over?
Well, yes and no. Okay. So I think that as far as the companies that completely folded, we're done with that. Okay. To where everybody's got to be rewritten and you need to go somewhere else. One of the companies that does have a decent amount of business here in our area is UPC.
Mm-hmm.
And their rating, like their financial rating, was decreased. And what is going on right now with those folks is that if you have a federally backed mortgage on your house, those companies, lenders, don't like to have you with a company that has a rating below a A.
Right.
Okay, or a B plus, I believe it is.
Right.
And so that is kind of the only kind of hanging fruit that we're waiting to see what happens with right now. But we also have several companies that basically stopped taking on new business during this hurricane season. They're trying to just right the ship, if you will, before taking on any more exposure for themselves.
So it's like a doctor, hey, we're not taking on new clients?
Right, because we can't service you as we should, right? We can't guarantee you that we're going to have the finances and insurance there to help you if you have a claim, so we're not taking on any more risk right now. We have several carriers like that I'm hoping in the fall, in the spring, will, you know what I mean, reopen up.
Let's rock and roll.
And we can take some folks that are with Citizens right now and put them into those markets. You know, that's what you're going to see over the next few years. We're going to be able to take the folks that we had to shove into the Citizens program because of the Southern Fidelities and the Lighthouses.
Yeah, the big boys.
That had a really big amount of presence here, and had to basically put them in that program, but it's temporary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can't wait to start pulling those people out of there and getting them, a policy with great deductibles and back to the old days when it was pleasant.
And
it's not happening.
And it's crazy.
Soon.
And what I relate that to is like right now for people buying a house with us, marry the house, date the rate, so to speak, because with the rate you're getting now, let's get in the house because your home's going to continue to go up in value.
Right. It's an appreciating asset.
Same thing with you, right? So it's kind of like, let's get the house and know we're going to have to do something with that rate when it recedes.
Correct.
And it will go down.
It's the same situation.
Right.
We're like,
but
look,
you
it's
still
temporary.
Need to
have it. I know it's high. I'm sorry.
Right.
Okay, but I am confident, this is not permanent.
But let's make sure the listeners understand, and we'll end the segment with this. When you say Citizens, that's Louisiana. Every state, and I know I deal in Florida, and we do a lot of stuff in Florida. I mean, you think Louisiana took it on the chin. Mercy. So every state has a backup, right? Just like FEMA with the so we have Louisiana.
It's the insurer of last resort.
It's that, and that's is what it is. It doesn't mean it's
and let me
atrocious,
say
but it's not a policy that you would probably take if
it doesn't have as many bells, whistles, and frills, okay, as your traditional homeowners, but your meat and potatoes will be covered.
And that's what I'm okay with that. I think that's awesome that the states have that in place.
And
because
I'll tell you this, our insurer of last resort, LA Citizens, is a very well run.
Good.
It is very well run.
Because you deal with other states.
Because other states, it's a whole different ballgame. We literally are fortunate that we have this as a backup for our folks, because the people, you talk about people working hard right now, those people at LA Citizens, I can't even imagine what they're having to deal with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, look, don't beat them up because other states have this, insurer of last resort program, and it may not be as well run as ours. So I do want to props to everybody over there.
So you are going to have, because I get that question too, well, then I won't be able to have homeowners. No, you're going to get it. So, but just understand everything right now. These are unique times. You could say that it's confusing. It's not, I want to buy a house. I go get an interest rate. I make an offer. I call up and get my insurance. No, look, this is where being a homeowner, where the benefits, and this is why all these years I've always said it's your most valuable asset. It's your largest business decision. especially right now. What thought process went into something when you go 2.5% interest rate? I got 20 different insurance carriers. Let me see who's going to give me the best coverage. Zero. Now's when you need professionals. That's why we have the Total Home Authority that I have put together. That's why we've got Collette in here. That's why next week we're going to have Florida League Title in here. We've got the Total Home Authority for you, so you got one spot to come get all your answers. All right, we're up against a break. We got a segment left. The Queen of Insurance, Collette Biedenkopf with TWFG Biedenkopf Insurance Group in studio. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio, 504-260-0995. We're talking about the She is a bad mamma jamma. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Steiner right here on iHeartRadio. We got one segment left. The Queen of Insurance is in studio, Collette Biedenkopf. If you want to reach her, 985-951-2070. 985-951-2070. Tell her you heard her on Mortgage Gumbo. Total Home Authority member forever now, and love it. Love having my clients speak to them. What I love is they do the back-end work. Our ideals line up. Heaven forbid we both run businesses where clients come first.
God forbid.
Unique, right?
Right.
Gee
we
whiz.
answer the phone.
Right. Answer phones, work, weekend warriors. So let's get into, we've got a few minutes left here. I want you to explain flood insurance. Number one, people go, well, I'm not in a flood zone. Everybody is in a flood zone. So lenders determine whether or not you're required to have flood insurance when you have a mortgage. That has sort of, not that that's changed, but how flood insurance and how zones are determined has totally just been just wiped out, and it's all different now, right?
Is,
so explain to everybody kind of what happened on this.
So the National Flood Insurance Program decided to revamp the way that they determine their rates, meaning how much premium has to be charged for a particular home. So in the past, forever, it was determined by zones, and that was done by the floodplain managers in conjunction with the National Flood Insurance Program. So for an example, you're in Lakeview, okay? You're in New Orleans, Lakeview. They spent $1 billion fortifying all the levees, making sure drainage is better, and they wanted to do this so that there was less risk of flooding. Okay, dumped a lot of money into New Orleans for that reason. So we had some zone changes, as you remember, in 16 and 17, to where you may have previously been in a zone where if you had a loan on your home, you were required to buy flood insurance. If you were in other zones like an X or a C, then that was a preferred zone, and it was voluntary, meaning you can pay for it, but your lender's not going to require you to have it. With the new rates that came out last year, they are determining your premium first by distance to water. So if you're in Lakeview, and I don't mean to single it out, I'm just using it as a logical example.
Right.
You're very close to water because you're right by the lake. So your premium, okay, I don't care if you're in an X, a C, or an A zone. It does not matter on their rating system any longer. They look at it as distance to water. They're using the longitude and latitude of your home to make that measurement. And then they go and give you credits if you have an elevated home. Mm-hmm. And when I say elevated, meaning you're above the base flood elevation for that area.
Right.
So if, let's just say, you are going to buy a home in Lakeview along a levee, and that seller did not currently have a policy in force. They paid the house off. They said, hey, they spent all this money with the levees and this and that. I'm not going to renew my flood insurance. When they go to sell that house, the buyer, okay, may be required or may want to voluntarily purchase a flood policy. That policy that used to be in the $600 to $700 a year range is now at least between $2,300 to $3,000 a year. And so that is what we are seeing. So I guess broadcast this. Renew your flood policies.
Do not, folks. I think that is a great point that I was going to make sure I said before. If you have flood insurance, don't let it go.
No.
Because when you go to sell the house, it could be the difference of you getting what you want for your house.
Or taking thousands, tens of thousands less.
Because then you have to go with what the new factors are. So that is a big, big deal. So keep that in mind. Whether it used to be, hey, you're in Covington, you're in an X zone. It doesn't matter. If you're in Covington, but you're next to the Chafunka River.
Exactly. If you're next to a tributary, if you have a little brook, it could be a brook. Because that's another funny thing. I don't know where their water is determined.
Right.
I don't know what it is. Yeah. Everybody asked me. I'm like, I don't know. We weren't given like a breakdown.
Yeah.
Of what their water.
Well, this is today's day and age when you got the Googles, the satellites, and they Xing down on your house, going, all right, hey, you're
literally zeroing down, and you have a pond. Okay, it could be a pond. So it's a wild goose chase is what I can say on both sides, the home and flood. It's an unprecedented situation for our listeners who are going through energy increases,
everything,
inflationary costs, groceries, everything, and then we have the insurances on top.
All right, Collette Biedenkopf, the queen of insurance. You are amazing. 985-951-2070. Listen to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein. Until next week, keep stirring the pot.